Yeah, rivals, it's a dangerous guy because it's a boxing. One punch, go home. This is dangerous, man, I know. But.
So therefore, the only way, if anyone is to beat him, is by knockout. And this isn't Floyd Mayweather boxing at 147 pounds and probably being in the ring at 155, maybe something like that. This is Oleksandr Usyk.
Number 2 on these defenses. Yeah. Fury perceived number 1. AJ at the time 1. Dubois number 2. He's taken, like, right, who's the next in line? Right, I'm fighting him. Yeah, that's what he's doing.
During a live interview, Oleksandr Usyk boldly made fun of Floyd Mayweather, saying that he has defeated the best opponents in his career. He went on to say that he still thinks he has superior legs than Mayweather at this point in his career. Usyk's remark was not only lighthearted, rather it was a daring reminder of his superior training and the degree of competition he had to overcome to get to the top.
Don't be afraid.
Well, good evening. Hope you're enjoying our Monday night football coverage. Oleksandr Usyk, not a bad striker in his time. Thierry and Jamie are in studio. If you were fighting Thierry Henry, how would you get inside of his head?
Yeah, Thierry is great player, but hey, Thierry, my legs be better with you.
Thierry, don't be afraid. My legs better.
What'd you make of that?
Sometimes you have to stay in your lane, and I will stay in my lane.
There are just 2 bouts left for Oleksandr Usyk before he hangs up his gloves as his career draws to a close. The boxing world is buzzing with expectation as a result of this. Fighters, fans, and commentators are all eagerly awaiting his next move. His next opponent, whoever it is, will share the limelight after such a remarkable run. Boxing fans are excited to watch how this generational great completes his career, and there's a lot of excitement surrounding his final bouts.
Usyk, that he's got 2 more fights in the bag at this point, that you reckon, yeah?
I interviewed him before. I sat down with him and had a chat with him before the Dubois fight. And yeah, he was just like, I've got 2 fights left.
So he's never fought in the Ukraine, he's never fought in his home country, or defended his title, I should say. So that's got to be on his wish list.
I would imagine so, but with what's going on in this country, it's just a disgrace. It's still going on. That's not going to happen anytime soon.
Anytime soon, no. But hopefully, we'll get some peace there, and then maybe he will get.
I'd love to. Yeah, I'd love to see peace in this country and for him and his family. And that would be an amazing.
The WBO has formally ordered Oleksandr Usyk to defend his undisputed heavyweight title against interim champion Joseph Parker, despite the fact that he has a number of bout possibilities as his illustrious career draws to a conclusion, with 30 days for both sides to come to an agreement before a purse split is initiated. This battle has rapidly gathered steam. Parker has gained support from supporters, commentators, and even legendary fighters like Lennox Lewis as a result of his recent victories over Deontay Wilder and Martin Buchanan. The fight has the support of promoter Frank Warren, who sees it as Usyk's ideal test before he retires from the sport.
My gut feeling is that Joseph Parker fights for the WBO belt, but he doesn't fight Oleksandr Usyk. He fights the next man up. I haven't got the list in front of me, so I don't know the rankings. So I guess if you're Joseph Parker, the question is, I mean, what is it you want? Ultimately, if you want a world title shot and you think you've been blackballed from getting a world title shot or pushed to the back, then well, here it is. Here's your world title shot. You're gonna fight for a world title, right? But if you're Joseph Parker, and I spoke to Andy Lee, it isn't just a case of fighting for a world title. You want to fight the number 1 for the world title, and that guy is Oleksandr Usyk. I would have given Joseph Parker the mic, and I would like Joseph Parker, because there's a mean side to Joseph Parker. I think everyone sees the friendly side. I've seen the mean side, and I wanted Joseph Parker to say, I want my shot. You've been ducking me. All these things might not be true, but do it. Sell it. The crowd would have gone a bit wild, right? Because I think a lot of the crowd want Joseph Parker to get his shot, but that's not what happened.
A rising star in the boxing world, Jai Opetaia has publicly declared his respect for Usyk and his desire to spar with him. In his opinion, Usyk is a defining characteristic of this generation, in addition to being a formidable champion. The fact that Opetaia wants to take on such a legend shows how Usyk has influenced the upcoming generation of artists. This kind of battle would connect to distinct periods of boxing greatness and serve as a competitive and symbolic link.
A goal of yours is to go to heavyweight. You're giving me a little smirk. Like, is that like a dream scenario for you to fight one of those 2 guys?
I would love to fight Usyk, you know, respectfully. You know, I've always been so close to him. You know what I mean? Like I was. But I was 16 years old. I qualified for the Olympics. I competed at 17, little kid, and he won that Olympic Games. Like, I've always been there, you know what I mean? I've always just been, it wasn't my time yet, you know, but I feel like my time's coming.
By boldly entering the ring against the most tough opponents in the heavyweight class, Oleksandr Usyk has created an incredible legacy. Usyk advanced to heavyweight and aggressively sought out the hardest matches possible. In contrast to many greats who spent the most of their careers in smaller weight divisions, experts stress that this change was not just audacious but also momentous. Usyk's 2 triumphs over Tyson Fury, who was once thought to be practically invincible, are potent evidence of his supremacy at the greatest level.
Is by knockout. And this isn't Floyd Mayweather boxing at 147 pounds and probably being in the ring at 155, maybe something like that. This is Oleksandr Usyk, who is fighting big men, sometimes giving up 40-pound weight advantages. And unfortunately, that does mean that if Oleksandr Usyk goes on for 4, 5, 6 more fights, of course, he is going to be defeated, in my opinion. But I would love that to not be the case. I would love it to not be the case. What I would love to be the case right now, as a boxing fan, is Oleksandr Usyk to walk off into the sunset. I think he's proven everything that he could possibly prove. And there's been debates, and especially I remember after the first few Joshua fights, there were debates over sort of Oleksandr Usyk's status compared to Evander Holyfield.
Usyk stands out from his contemporaries, not just because of his undefeated record, but also because of how he accomplished it. He welcomed risk rather than shunned it. Every opponent posed a threat, and every arena was fierce. Usyk, however, delivered with unparalleled ring intelligence, poise, and brilliance. He constantly surpassed giants with his footwork and tactical flexibility, converting skeptics into believers. Titles and belts no longer carry the same weight as Usyk's name. He is more than just a champion. He is a symbol of bravery and greatness. Usyk stands taller than others in a sport whose legacy is frequently determined by resume strength, not just because of who he defeated, but also because of how and when he accomplished it.
It's over sort of Oleksandr Usyk's status compared to Evander Holyfield. Listen, that argument, a lot of people wanted to rubbish that at first. That argument is a real argument that can be made now. Because when you look at what Oleksandr Usyk's done, remember Evander Holyfield was in a cruiserweight division that I'm not going to say was in its infancy, but it wasn't, it wasn't the cruiserweight division that Oleksandr Usyk was in. The cruiserweight division that Oleksandr Usyk was in, I believe, was a more stacked, more competitive cruiserweight division. And the way Usyk left that division, he left it by cleaning it out. The World Boxing Super Series tournament was something that actually got the best fighting the best and got the best names coming into it and entering, and we weren't really seeing that.
Because of his perfect technique, brilliant defense, and perfect record, Floyd Mayweather has long been considered the pound-for-pound master of his generation. His supremacy in a variety of weight divisions solidified his place among the greatest boxers of all time. However, Oleksandr Usyk has become a worthy equal in the modern era, making analogies that few people would have imagined. Usyk is currently considered the modern pound-for-pound force of this generation due to his victories over top heavyweights and uncontested titles in several divisions. Even as an exhibition, a long-awaited fight between Usyk and Mayweather would be more than just a show. Two entirely distinct styles and legacies would collide.
Floyd is one of the worst fighters ever. That's my hot take on Floyd. Now let me stop trolling. Now that I got y'all baited in. I think we always say like, oh, how great Floyd is. Well, when you really sit there and think about it, Floyd was really special. Like, when we talk about generational, it's going to be a very, very, very long time till we see Floyd. Like, Pernell was great. He was a great defensive wizard. Pernell trapped himself a lot. He was able to find himself out of his own traps. Pernell would give up outside lead foot position to a lot of big punchers, and he was still able to be elusive and get away. That's impressive. Floyd would sit on the ropes against guys like Canelo, Pacquiao, De La Hoya, Cotto, and either evade every shot or get away. Generation, like, Floyd is crazy. He's not my favorite fighter. He's far from my favorite, but I mean, I think he's the best pound-for-pound fighter of all time. I don't think there's much debate for it. Did Floyd fight everybody he was supposed to? No, we got to be honest. He just didn't. Most people don't. Did Floyd fight everybody at their best? No, that's impossible. Was Floyd the most slippery, defensively sound, technical boxers of all time? Hell yeah. Like I said, I'm not the hugest Floyd fan, but I just sit here watch him dominate my boy Canelo. You guys know Canelo, he's one of my favorite, but God, Floyd different type of boxer, you know. We hated him when he was here. I kind of miss Floyd now.
While Usyk is characterized by mobility, pressure, and mental acuity, Mayweather's career is based on control and precision. Hard struggles and continuous ascension have been the foundation of Usyk's journey. He has never settled for simple routes. While Usyk thrives in higher-risk combat, Mayweather displayed elegance and perfection. Usyk's deconstruction of Daniel Dubois only served to confirm for supporters what they already knew. He dominates with intelligence in addition to winning. Despite Dubois's strength and power, Usyk was useless due to his timing, footwork, and strategy. The performance demonstrated that intelligence can surpass physical strength. Usyk's legacy as a fighter who continuously overcomes physical obstacles with exceptional technique and mental acuity was boosted by that victory, which did more than merely boost his record.
In different directions. Even I wasn't sure, because although I believe Usyk is the fighter of the generation in this weight class, he's at an age where, you know, overnight you sort of show up and you don't have it anymore. You know, Ali randomly lost to Leon Spinks around this age and whatnot. You know, so you know, you could get where all of a sudden, you know, it's not there on the night. So. And you know, you had
and heavyweights takes 1 second,
yeah,
one split second, you're off.
Yeah, exactly. And you also had a very motivated Dubois to add to that second. You know, who's a very powerful puncher and has sort of this bully mentality when he gets you in an uncomfortable position. But you know, Usyk, you know, flawless performance technically. You know, stepping out to that weak side consistently, mixing up the jabs, making things uncomfortable for Dubois rhythm-wise.
He seemed more aggressive, right? Normally, I think with some of the bigger guys, he slides to the weak side, slides to the weak side. This was different.
I think with Dubois, the psychology is kind of out of the bag in that you got to kind of bully the bully, you know, and Dubois came out trying to bully him a little bit, so he started touching him and hitting him, and he started taking it to him because you start backing him up, you start putting him in a situation where he starts to doubt himself, and Dubois doesn't really come back from that very often. As a matter of fact,
he doesn't bend any breaks.
In the fight, I thought he's a little bit awkward, Dubois. I don't know, but
he's one of those awkward strong guys.
Yeah,
he's just like super strong, awkward as hell.
He goes down and he takes the full count, and then he just gets up at 10 and walks across the ring right in front of Usyk, who's celebrating middle of the ring, like with his hands up in the air. Just casually walks right by Usyk's celebration as if he didn't just get counted out to 10.
Foreman Ali. Remember, he walks right to his corner.
Yeah, but I was like, dude, you could have got up. Like, you waited to 10, and then
he was a beaten man.
You waited to 10, and then not only you get up, you don't even have the presence of mind to realize, like, I'm walking right into the picture where he's celebrating.
But Paulie, he was a beaten man before the first knockdown. You saw his spirit leave his body. Not as if he's dying. I mean, his fighting spirit just completely leave his body. And we've seen that before. It happened the last time. And a lot of people were asking me during fight week. They're like, "Yeah, man, Dubois looks really good. What do you think?" I'm like, "It doesn't."
A key player in contemporary boxing, Turkey, Usyk is renowned for facilitating high-profile bouts. His involvement has raised the possibility that even the most ambitious fantasy bouts, such with Mayweather's improbable comeback to take on Usyk, may actually happen. Even if the chances are low, these promoters' impact cannot be disregarded. And somebody with Usyk's reach and reputation for organizing significant events is the best person to bring two icons from different worlds together in the ring.
Turkey Usyk might be the only billionaire I truly like. Don't get me wrong, if you're a billionaire, you're probably hiding some pretty shady stuff, not gonna lie. But this dude is a G. If you know, you know. This guy is a huge combat sports fan. Mostly boxing. This guy does everything he can to try and create the best boxing events in the world. Dude uses his money for the power of good by creating the most testosterone, aura-filled boxing matches imaginable. And after, it seems like forever, months, maybe even years of him trying to get Canelo Alvarez to fight Terrence Crawford, he finally penciled it in. He got it done a couple months ago. But here's why I'm making this video. Turkey Usyk, I fucking love this guy. If either one of these two guys win by knockout, he's going to give out a huge bonus to him. It's important to note that this isn't going to be like a $50,000 bonus that they have in the UFC. We're talking Saudi oil money. Expect millions and millions of dollars. This is a quote by him. "We will not have Tom and Jerry fights anymore. We will have in this fight and in our next fights a bonus for a KO." Thank God. The biggest reason why I'm more of an MMA fan, and even a bare knuckle fan, than boxing is because I'm tired of the dancing. 12 rounds of just dancing. It literally puts you to sleep. And the last boxing event I paid for, I don't even remember the dude's freaking name. It was the last guy I think Canelo Alvarez fought. I don't even care to know his name. All the dude did was dance around for 12 rounds just to lose. He didn't do anything. It was one of the worst fights ever. Everybody thought they got scammed because they had to pay money for that. Even Turki Al-Sheikh was pissed. You could see it because he's done with this crap. He's done. He's finally putting an end to this. He's going to be giving out probably $1 million bonuses for every time somebody gets knocked out. Thank God. All right? Now I'm actually excited for this.
Usyk's character is among the most admired features of his profession. He is still grounded in spite of all the honors and titles. The public image of fighters like Mayweather, who have frequently flourished on bluster, stands in contrast to this. Usyk's humility has been hailed by both fans and analysts, who regard it as a sign of respect for the sport, his rivals, and the supporters. His greatness feels even more genuine because of this uncommon trait in top sportsmen. Derek Kaisera's analogy of Usyk to Muhammad Ali emphasizes his exceptional talent. His control and agility in the arena are similar to lighter fighters' grace, yet he does it in the heavyweight class. His movement is not just beautiful, it is also practical and efficient. Usyk's combination of intelligence and movement creates a new dynamic that is uncommon at this level, in a division that is known for using physical power.
He gets it wrong. You don't box this guy. It's like, how can I explain it to you in a way you understand? You can't box him.
He's just too good.
He's just unbelievable great. Yeah, you can forget good, he's amazing. Yeah, he's great, he's amazing. He's like the white Muhammad Ali. He might not talk like Muhammad Ali, but he is the Muhammad Ali of the last generation. You understand? We have to give him the credit where he's due. Yeah? He is that guy.
Interview Usyk has only taken the most difficult paths since the beginning of his profession. He targeted elite opponents, frequently in their own backyards, rather than selecting and choosing simple victories. He traveled, adjusted, and thrived in a wide range of settings and styles. He stands out from many champions who choose safer paths because of his willingness to take chances and strive for excellence even when the odds were against him. His path is characterized by bravery and ambition rather than comfort.
I'm sorry. I can't help it, man. I fucking love this. Honestly, I fucking love this game.
He's missed it! It's over!
Fuck me. I'm sorry for going on like a lunatic, right? But it was unbelievable. And it's funny how this fight all came about, right? The controversy in the last fight, which for me was never controversial. It was a low blow, simple as that. And I don't think we've ever seen Oleksandr Usyk ever look for an easy way to win. In fact, I think of all the fighters on planet Earth, he is the one who takes the hardest road to win. There's no tune-up fights for Oleksandr Usyk. It's the biggest fight in a heavier weight than he should even be fighting at, and he makes life harder for himself, not easier. And I think he has proven his character time and time again. But yet he was accused of not being, you know, a real Christian because he was a cheat. He was accused of deserving an Oscar because he was a play actor and robbing Daniel Dubois of what should have rightfully been his, which was a world title. And after the Tyson Fury fight, Daniel Dubois stepped in the ring and called him out, and Oleksandr Usyk immediately turns to Turki Al-Sheikh and says, Mr. Excellency, make the fight. He had no problem in setting this up, and immediately you kind of think he was in the middle of talking about his, you know, his father. I think at the time it was an emotional moment. That's a time where when you've accomplished what he's done, you deserve respect, and I think he was disrespected there, and I think he took that personally, in the words of Michael Jordan. Now in the first round, Oleksandr Usyk did exactly what he needed to do to Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois coming in with a load of confidence, wanting to be the aggressor, wanting to be the dominant bull that he was against Anthony Joshua.
Russ Anber, a boxing trainer and commentator, described Usyk's mentality during his most recent bout as a quiet anger. Anber clarified that despite his extraordinary success, Usyk continued to feel undervalued by some members of the boxing community, especially some British media personalities. He was driven by that feeling of being ignored. Usyk entered the ring to dispel any worries, not only to win. He was clearly establishing himself as one of the finest boxers of this time, not merely defending titles, thanks to his laser-like focus and strategic aggression.
I think he went out there with bad intentions, didn't he? I think he was on a mission to prove that, you know, 38 isn't old yet. And I was talking to some other guys, including Richie Woodall, and saying that, you know, like, he's gotten better. If you look at his last 3 fights, the first Fury fight, second Fury fight, and this one, each one has gotten better, you know, more dominating each time. So, you know, age is a number, I guess. When you're in the gym all the time, it takes a long time to age.
When we spoke on Thursday, I could tell you were genuinely confident, but did you believe it could be so early and so conclusive?
No, I'd be lying to you if I said that. You know, I mean, no. I thought it could be dominating. I thought he was doing the things that I think Dubois did what I expected him to do, and Usyk did what I expected him to do.
That concludes the video for today. Until the next time, stay tuned.